Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies, gentlemen, bitches, bros, non-binary hoes, anyone else who happens to be watching this. Aliens, apparently you're out there, welcome. Sorry, I'm in a new place at the moment. Had to change rooms because my room needed some work, so it's going to be an absolute dumpster fire for a while, but that's okay. It's okay. We're not here for me. We're here for you. Specifically, we are here to discuss your life. I was very fortunate enough to be directed a video by my TikTok algorithm that I will have linked below, and it discusses a passage from a book by Oliver Burkeman. This book is 4,000 Weeks Time Management for Mortals. Mortals. And I assume 4,000 weeks is the rough lifespan of a human, I would imagine, I guess. In this book, it discusses the resources that are available to humans that live. Things like water, food, oxygen, things that we need in order to live, or things that support our living. Even money could be included in there. Basically anything can be included in there. But the point that the video and the creator and the book really drives home is that while there are all these things that are important to life, to survival, to those things like it, to experiencing life, life itself is very, very, very interesting. The author and the video says that your attention is your life. I'll say that again. Your attention is your life. What does that mean? Well, while there are resources like food, which you need to survive, oxygen, you need to survive, money, you need to live in this society, your attention and how you choose to use it is your life. It is the record of how you lived. And that is both terrifying and exciting. It's terrifying because, as we all know, and as the video mentions, social media as a whole, among other things, is designed to capture your attention permanently, or at least capture your attention over a long enough period of time that you become addicted. Addiction being a manifestation of where we continuously put our attention to and the effects that giving attention to those things have on us. So obviously things have psychoactive properties which give us addiction, but then etc. etc. We don't need to go into that tangent. What we really want to discuss is the attention. Social media is designed for us to give it attention and to stay on those platforms. It steals our attention. And I think there's a really interesting thing to discuss there, being that, in my personal experience, it is very, very scary. Very scary being the keyword. It's as scary as a young person in 2023. It is scary to be aware of your attention. It is scary to understand that you have control over your attention. It is easy to relinquish control of your attention to these things, to bad habits, to scrolling social media, doom scrolling, to relinquish your autonomy or your ability to exercise your attention in favor of blocking, numbing yourself. And again, it's a scary world currently. It's a very scary world. But I think what's scarier is that we could have a say in how our lives are lived. And that's the really interesting thing about attention, is that it's scary because there are so many things today that are looking to steal our attention, and there are so many reasons why giving our attention to things that want to steal it could be beneficial, because it is safe to be unaware, it is safe to be absent-minded, it is safe to relinquish your attention to these things, because it means you don't need to think about the horrible, terrible things that are going on in your life. It also means you don't have to think and take accountability for how you're living your life. Because if you're never present, how can you be accountable? It's scary to take accountability for your own actions, for the fact that you exist as you are right now. It is scary to do that. But if you do, when you choose to realize that you can pay attention, that you can choose where to pay attention, there are a few realizations. One is that it is infinitely scary. To be accountable for where you put your attention, responsible for its management, is scary. As a young man, and part of a population that suffers chronically with pornographic addiction, it is scary, hypothetically, to realize that this whole time you were a product of something, or you have ingrained values that are negative, that are harmful, that actively hurt you, that you've been sold an idea of beauty that is distorted, manufactured. That's just one example. It is scary to realize things like that, as an example. To then say, I recognize this behavior is harmful to me. I recognize that I have engaged in it because at some point I learned it was safe to do so. To recognize that it was your fault. And to decide, against the weight of everything, all the habits that you've put up with until that point, I will change. My attention is mine to command. I can decide what to do with what I want to think. I can do it. I don't know how, but I can do it. That there's something so beautiful in that. So I want to put that on for you. There are things in your life that are actively stealing your attention. Whether you choose to acknowledge them or not is entirely up to you. But when you choose to acknowledge that they are not there to support you, that they are there for their own gain or for someone else's gain, it will start to irk you. It will slowly wear away at you. You will realize and continue to think, what is going on? This is hurting me. This hurts. I'm scared to be better than this. I'm terrified of taking accountability for this, because if I do, then I can't wave away what happens to me as someone else's fault or problem. I have to acknowledge that whatever happens to me is my fault, that it was within my control. Because that's the thing about your attention. You're accountable for it, whether you choose to believe it or not. You're accountable for how you live your life. You. It's possible for you to choose to do anything with time. Because wherever you put your attention is how you live your life. I sincerely hope that your attention was well spent. Until next time, thank you and goodbye.